Yo, what's up, everyone? If you can hear me, go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the chat. We're going to get going here in 1 minute. It would help if I turned my microphone on. What's up, everybody? This is Jason, and today we're going to do another frame design tutorial kind of walkthrough. Today we're going to do the Sega Player 2 because that's my favorite. Yesterday we did all button control, and we did a mix between the Rageous X all button layout and the Daigo the Beast layout. So we're going to do something different, and we're going to go with a lever today. So strap in, let's go, and today we're going to make some stuff happen. Today, like I said, we're going to do Sega Player 2. What I've already done is I've imported my DXF file into SolidWorks. That's my preferred CAD program. And we've got our handy guide from slagcoin.com up here. We'll drag this over. This is the Sega Player 2. Lots of good information here that we're going to translate into the CAD program. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to rename this sketch, and I'm going to call this my top layer. I'm going to call it Sega Player 2 top, or I'm going to call it outermost. All right. And let's go ahead and just start drawing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the joystick hole. I'm going to put it wherever I feel because it doesn't matter at this point, and I'm not going to even dimension it. I'm just dropping a circle. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my 8 circles I need for the punches and kick buttons here. And you'll notice I'm just kind of putting them willy-nilly wherever I need. Kind of in the rough shape. It doesn't have to be exact because we're going to fix all this with smart dimensions here in 1 minute. All right, so we're good to go there. Now we've got our 8 action buttons and our lever buttons, so let's do some smart dimensioning here. In my design guide, I tell you I want to make my lever hole 24 millimeters. That's pretty standard. And then my buttons, I'm going to make 30.1 millimeters. So we've done that with that. Now, instead of going through and adding a dimension to every single one of these buttons, I'm just hitting shift and click on all of them. And that lets me select them all. And then over here to the left, I hit equal, and boom, just like that, they're all 30 millimeters. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. All right, now what we're going to do, let's go ahead and get our layout positioned properly. I'm going to focus on the horizontals first. So clicking the center of the kick 1 and the kick 2 button, I know that is 30.5 millimeters. According to the design on SlagCoin, then I know my next one between kick 2 and kick 3, that is 36 millimeters, so I go ahead and drop that there. And then the same thing for kick 3 to kick 4. This is where you got to pay attention. It is 35.5. Yep, 35.5. There's a little note on this for the Sega Player 2. You can make the difference between kick 3 and kick 4 35.5 or 36. I think the standard is 35.5, and then the top one is 36. That just adds a little bit more curvature on the bottom. All right, so we've got that set. Now let's go ahead and check out the horizontals for the top. And I'm just going to drag my dimension up here. The top between punch 1 and kick 1, or excuse me, punch 1 and punch 2 is the exact same, so it's 30.5. And the nice thing is this layout is very symmetrical, so this makes this part real easy. The next one's 36. And then finally, the last one, this is the one that is 36. All right, so there you go. It's a little 0.5 millimeter difference between the top and the bottom. All right, now that we've got the horizontal set here, we can go ahead and set the horizontal between the center of the lever and kick 1. Standard is 59. That's what the arcade cabinet has. 63 is popular. 95 can be popular as well. That's really wide, but I like to go with 82. That's kind of a nice, healthy balance between all of the possible dimensions. But you can see we got lots of room here, so if we wanted to make it 95, we 100% can. Okay, now let's start looking at the verticals. We know between the center of our joystick and kick 1, we want that to be 20 millimeters. Boom. Now that's all set. You notice it didn't really do anything major because it had no arbitrary value. It had just an arbitrary value set before. Now we go between our kick 1 and our kick 2 on the vertical, and we know that that is also 20 millimeters. That puts your kick 1, or excuse me, your kick 2 and your joystick exactly in line with each other. Let's go ahead and hit this. Now we're going to click the center of kick 2 and the center of kick 3, and I'm going to add a horizontal relationship here instead of doing a dimension. That's going to keep them perfectly in line because that's the standard. Next thing, I'm going to click my smart dimension again, click on kick 3 center and kick 4 center, and I know that is a 9 millimeter drop in that set there. So if you set all your layouts right, you don't have to worry about minus signs with your dimensions. If one is already below the other and you put in the dimension, it will just make it that. Okay, so we've got our bottom set, so let's go ahead and take a look at our top, and we're going to do the same thing here. Between kick 1 and, or excuse me, punch 1 and punch 2, that is 20 millimeters. We're going to click that like that. And then just like we did below, we know that punch 2 and punch 3 are horizontally aligned. And then between punch 3 and punch 4, we know that that is a 9 millimeter drop as well. Boom, got it. All right, now we need to actually set up a couple more things here. We know that our punch 1 and our kick 1 and our punch 1 are vertically aligned, so I click the centers of those two circles and I hit vertical, boom. Just like that, they're all aligned. And now I'm going to click Smart Dimension and click the center of kick 1 and the center of punch 1. And if I do the math, we get 11 plus 9 plus 19. That should give us 39. Boom, just like that. Ooh, looks pretty good. We're pretty close. Now we just go through and double check all of our dimensions here. 30.5, 36, 35.5, good. And then between these, 30.5, between these, 36, and between these, also 36. All our buttons are 30.1 millimeters. That's good. Now we check our verticals. We know the difference between punch 1 and kick 1 is 39 millimeters. We double check over here. 9 plus 11 is 20, plus 19 is 39, so we're good there. We know that over here, the difference between punch 1 and punch 2 is 20 millimeters on the vertical. That checks. Punch 2 and punch 3 are indeed in a line, and then punch 3 and punch 4 are dropped down by 9 millimeters, and that checks there. And we kind of backtrack over here and do the exact same thing, and it looks like we're pretty squared away. So that is the Sega Player 2 layout, aligned perfectly on, relative to each other. All right, now, oftentimes what we'll do is we'll take the center, we're going to take the center of kick 1 and the center of the case, and we are going to make those vertically aligned, and that is kind of how most of these layouts end up getting centered on the case. That's generally the standard. But if you want it to be wider or different, you can 100% do that. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is. Now, when we look at the top or the center of the joystick to the edge of the case, we've got that at 133 millimeters right now. That's pretty arbitrary. Let's go ahead and kick that down to 120 millimeters. The nice thing is say you want to do this in inches, we'll do 3 inches. That gives you 76. That's way too low. Let's do 6 inches. And that's way too high. So if we do like 5 inches, that looks pretty good. One thing to consider here is you got your USB cable coming out. So if you don't have a right angle one, this might be too high. So let's go ahead and just kick this down to 115 millimeters to be safe. And that's still going to give you plenty of space. I love it. All right. So let's go ahead and undo Smart Dimension, hit OK. And this is what our layout looks like when we're out of sketch mode. That looks great. I'm very happy with that. Okay, now we have to create our innermost layer. So let's go ahead and right click this and let's see if I can duplicate it. Okay, it's not easy. So let me just take it and we're going to hit Control C. And I'm going to click on my front plane and hit Control V. And so now I should have an exact replica. I do. And there it is. Let me go ahead and hide this. I'm going to rename this sketch to Sega Player 2 Innermost Layer. I like that name. All right, now the reason I wanted to duplicate it is because we're going to do some fanciness without having to redo a bunch of work. So let me go ahead and hit Edit Sketch here. And then I'm going to take my button layout. Instead of 30.1, I think I'm going to make it, let's see, 40. I'm going to make it 40, yeah, 45 millimeters. And it makes all of them bigger instantly. I like that. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to come up here to Trim Entities and choose Power Trim. And then I'm going to just go through and get rid of all this stuff here. Like so. All right, that looks pretty good. This provides us a nice, easy to use base on the innermost layer without having a bunch of unnecessary cuts. So that's pretty good there. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my center rectangle here. And then I am going to click in the middle here and just grow it out like this. And then what I'm going to do is click this for construction because I don't want to actually cut those. And I know that I want to make this 40 millimeters wide. And I know I want to make this 84 millimeters tall. And it just kind of totally dorked everything up. That's okay, so I'm going to hit this. And then I'm going to click on this line and this line. And I'm going to hit collinear. And that's not what I wanted to do. All right, let me undo some of this stuff. All right. Let me delete this. All right, so what I need to do now, I didn't want it to shift everything around, so I've got to set up some relationships to make sure that it does not do that again. So let me click here and here. Nope, cancel. All right, why did it do that? You know what? Why don't we do this? Just to be safe, I'm going to delete this square, and I'm going to do this probably an easier way for everyone to understand. I was trying to be clever, and instead I ended up making things hard for myself. All right, so what I'll do is I'm just going to draw 3 or 4 random circles like this. These are going to be the mounting hardware for the joystick. All right, we're going to make those 40 millimeters apart here. We're going to make these 40 millimeters apart here. We're going to make them 84 millimeters top to bottom. So that's pretty good. Hit OK. And so I'm going to click here and here. I'm going to make sure that that's a horizontal relationship and hit OK. I'm going to do the same thing for these down here. This just makes it so I don't have to do any like special math or any more dimensions than I need to. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these center to the thing so we know that's 20. Damn it. All right, let me see something. Let me click this and let me choose fix. All right. We'll leave that okay. Now let me change this to 20. There we go. It centered that. And then I'm going to click here to here And I am going to also make this 42 because that's halfway between 84. All right. And now in the design guide, Omega, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? We're going to make these 3.6 millimeters. Hey, Stuntastic, how are you? Welcome to the chat. All right, why did this not work? Hit OK. Let me change this. 3.6. There's that. All right, great. I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these. And I'm going to do... Why did it... Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Click here, 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 and here. And now I'll make them all equal. And just like that, we have exactly what we want. And if I zoom in here, why is this still overdefined? Let's see, click this. All right, let me get rid of this diameter. There we go. That makes that work. And then just like that, we hit OK. And then we hit Exit Sketch. And now, oh, look, we have a little errant thing in here. Let's go ahead and click on that and get rid of it. And just zoom way in, click, and delete. Perfect. And then we exit Sketch. And now we have our innermost layer. So if we take our outermost and hide it, that's what our innermost layer looks like. We've got our screw holes here, which will laser cut these out, and then I can go back with my drill press and just countersink them in. And then you'll notice here, this is way off base. I don't know what happened there. Let me turn that outermost layer back on. And let me come into here, into the innermost layer, and click this. And then I'm going to click here. I'm going to click this one and this one. And I'm going to make those coincident. Nope, that didn't work. I don't know why it changed that. So let me just do this. I'm going to click it and delete it. I'll click my circle. I'm going to zoom way in here. Click my circle tool here. Click on the center here. And then just drag it out like that. And that'll add the circle back in. This is why you got to double check everything. Getting the grill out. I'm jealous. We're actually going over to a friend's house today for some grilling. So I'm excited about that. All right, let me hide this now. All right, so now when we look at our inner layer, we're good to go. We've got all of our stuff, although this kind of looks funky, right? Let's go ahead and let's check this out. I'm glad we saw that because I was going to call this good. All right, 40. Okay, 40. All right. Oh, that's over here. Let's see, this to this. Let's do vertical. Nope, let's not do that. Cause an error. All right, let's see. From here to here, that's 20. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do here to here. Oh, that's right. Why does it look funky in the screen? Like, it doesn't look centered properly. Am I just going crazy? I think I might just be going crazy. Let's see. No, that's right. All right, maybe my eyes are just nuts. Like, that does not look right. Let's see. Evaluate. Measure here to here. 42 and 20. Okay. And then let's measure from here to here. 42 and 20. We'll do it again up here. 42 and 20. All right, maybe I'm just going nuts. It's possible. 42 and 20. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I think it's just maybe an illusion, if you will. All right, so that is our Sega Player 2 inner. And then if we turn our outer on as well, that's what the... Whoops. That is what our combined panel set looks like. So this is where we kind of go through and we have to double check that all our holes line up. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, that looks pretty good. And then let's turn our model back on. That's like the base that I provide everyone to use for their design work. And then we kind of go through here and just, again, zoom in to make sure that we're not missing anything. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool. I like it. Just like that now, we have a Sega Player 2 for the frame. Let's go ahead and save this. We got that saved. Yep, hit OK. And now here's the part that we care about to make our design files for me to cut. So let's go ahead and hide the innermost layer. Now we're focused on the outer. Let's go up to File. And we're going to go to Save As. And it's got me in the right spot. So I go here and I'd find DXF. And then I'm going to call this, because this is the outer, 82 millimeter wide, outer. All right. And then I'm going to hit OK. And this looks good. We'll hit save. And now I'm going to hide this layer. I'm going to turn this layer on. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to go File. I'm going to go to Save As. And I'm going to go up to DXF. And I'm going to call this Inner. There you go. Hit the check mark. And just like that, we hit save, and we are good to go. Now we've done the Sega Player 2 layout, so I'll get this posted up on the Discord. So hopefully y'all saw how easy this is. Let me see. I'm going to see if SolidWorks has, like something that people can use that's cheap. I think there's like a SolidWorks for creators. Let me see if I can find it. 3D Experience, SolidWorks 3D CAD. Let's see. Here we go. For makers and hobbyists, power the maker within. All right, let's see what we got here. $15 a month, that's not bad, but $48 for a year is cheap. That's actually really good. That's not bad at all. So if you were like interested in getting into like making stuff and doing a bunch of designs for this, you know, you do 1, maybe 2 commissions and you've covered the thing for the year. That's great. Like, that's really good. I am unsure how this is compared to like my full version of SolidWorks, but I imagine it's all probably the same. And so if we click here, $48 for the year. All right, we'll just accept all these cookies. Yeah, that's a great deal. And you get, all right, SolidWorks Professional. Wow, that's nice. 3D Sculptor, I don't use that. 3D Creator, I don't really use that. Wow, that's awesome. So there you go. I am not related or affiliated with SolidWorks at all, but that is a killer price. This is some good competition between them and Autodesk. So if you're looking to do this, that's a great deal, I think. I should reach out to them and see if I can get a coupon code or something, at least so we can track how many people are Panzer users doing this. But yeah, so anyways, back to the thing. Let's talk about a couple more little things. Say you don't want to do countersunk holes in the inner layer for the lever mounting hardware. Let's just say you want to, you know, keep it cheaper, save a couple dollars, and have the bolts go through the top panel to the inner panel and then through the lever. What you would do is you would just put these circles on your outermost layer as well. Basically, any hardware that you want to go through both layers, you put on both layers. If you want any hardware hidden under the top layer, then you just put it on the innermost layer, and then we're going to have a feature where you can click countersink. So there you go. So that's how you would do that. And then, you know, obviously, you know, if you're looking for different dimensions, I'll tell you it's super easy to find all of these dimensions for the levers. Quick Google search makes that easy. And as I kind of think about it, I'll be updating the design guide to have all of the different dimensions that I recommend. So that makes that super easy. But yeah. So without further ado, we're 25 minutes in, a lot of rambling, a little bit of saving, a little messing around with SolidWorks, but we got a layout. So when you see, you know, my $50 an hour commission charge or fee for like doing your layouts, you're probably going to get it within an hour easily. So you don't have to worry about spending $200-300 on design time there. And I will cut that down to a half hour as required. So you can see if it's a basic layout like this and it doesn't exist, then, you know, it's pretty easy. So there you go. Other than that, I'm about to go to a barbecue. So I'm going to hit save here. and then I'll post these files up, and then I'll VOD this over to YouTube for you to look at later. And you can use this for all the other layouts. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys make some killer stuff. And until next time, I'm Jason. Peace.